the time for me.
Okay, we're back. Hey guys,
Mm.
nice meeting all of the audience, and welcome back to the episode 8 AI on air today. We are very honored to have our special guest, E from Codatta. We're just building the human layer, knowledge layer for AI, and today we would love to learn more about your journey, Codatta's journey, and recently you guys are very hot topic on Twitter, and obviously because of the TG and all this stuff. Yeah, I'd love to chat more about that. And for full disclosure, Codatta is
Mm.
also the first the data module on Kite, and
Mm-hmm.
to talk about that more as well. And yeah, Mike to E, if you can start
Okay, thank you.
intro.
Thank you. Okay, hello everyone. Definitely, it's my honor actually to attend this episode of the AI on Air. And we are Scott and me and Chi. We are kind of long-term friends. And also, I think there's an overstatement speaking on us quite hot on Twitter. I think one of the reasons we are hot because we are part of the Kite AI system ecosystem. So I think that would be one of the reasons we are kind of hot recently. Yeah, let's start with the question and ask me regarding my personal journey and also the Codatta journey, and a little bit about myself. Actually, I get a PhD in Cincinnati, starting machine learning. Back in the day, we call it data mining. Starting in 2009, so I'm quite of a senior in terms of age. And after that, I had been working for Pinterest for several years, and also working for Alipay managing multiple engineering team, dealing with the building AI system to the ads recommendation or and promoting some of the marketing stuff. So that's my entire journey actually, dealing with AI quite a long term. And when we were doing with the AI system, not all people working with the infrastructure. Some of them were innovating the algorithm. Actually, I personally am kind of fall in love with the data. Actually, data actually fit into machine learning and actually improve the AI capability. So that's the reason I enjoy dealing with data. And I think most of the in practical, most of the business value delivered by data. That's the reason I started with I started a project as initially as open source and evolve into the Codatta. And back in the day, we talked about Codatta is somehow scale AI in Web3, but actually we are revolutionizing the business model. What we see there is two trends in the AI industry. One trend is data sourcing becoming very expensive. We still need real world data, and also the labeling side. I think basic labeling is somehow replaced by fundamental models. They can do some of basic labeling quite well, but I still remain. I think if not just think, the experience tell us the high quality data, particularly enriched encoding bunch of human knowledge, advanced knowledge like a chain of thoughts or a bunch of reasoning. This type of human expert data is still in high demand, and I think we could actually burn to solve that problem. And by solving that problem, actually we're dealing with dual market side issue. One side is for business; it's super expensive for them to acquire data if they follow the scale AI model or search AI model. But and also there are another issue with data provider. If they follow the Web2, they just receive one-time payment regarding how high they receive if they are coders, if they are doctors. The per sample cost is quite high, but they do not enjoy downstream impact they can deliver. Regarding is the how data are valuable and how good, how successful the downstream AI can be, they couldn't have any insight into the success. So that's the kind of issue. And we want to solve the issue by deliver transformation of data into assets. What does it mean? If the data become asset, we can charge, we can deliver so-called the royalty-based payment. It can, how does it work? The business side, they do not have to pay any upfront cost to use data. What they pay is the future. If the data actually can help the AI generate revenue, they use the future revenue pay back to the data provider. The knowledge provider actually enjoying long-term success. So in short, I think we are using the blockchain as a tool to transfer data become asset. And if it become asset, we can solve the dual market challenge, improve the data providers' long-term reward, and also reduce the upfront cost for and de-risk the business who want to use high-quality data to deliver the business solution. So that's a kind of mouthful. I cover my personal journey. I cover the Codatta's journey, and also we cover what we are trying to do. And fortunately, we have friends give us a lot of support from Kite, and yeah, that's what I want to say. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can first discuss about the personal journey. I actually want to, in this podcast, share some actual data. We work with Codatta, there's some blood cancer detection data, and also, show the concrete data, and also show some data on Codatta work with Hugging Face. But let's start with your personal journey. I think you will share tons of the similarity. When you work at Pinterest and then Ali. Like when we in previous Gen AI, we always talk about this X and Y, this 95% of model building is about data. Could you share us more about this part, and also what I guess that's probably one of the reasons you named your token X and Y, right?
Okay, yeah, I appreciate Scott raised up this question. It's more like giving myself the opportunity to introduce why we choose the ticker to represent our native token of Codatta. The X and Y, let us start with X and Y. When we start in the machine learning, we know X represent the features, Y represent labels. Actually, machine learning actually is fitted the data to starting the mapping from X to Y. And that's the reason we think the X and Y represent the entire complete set of data sample, which can training data or test data or validating the model. So that's we never yet. I think it is the first time I come up with the name. I still remember I tested regarding hey how about this naming? Is I kind of confused. What's the meaning the carrot? And I was very excited. I still remember that I texted him. I was driving in some hotel, and I gave him his name. Oh, it sounds geeky, but kind of meaningful and insightful. Yeah, that's I still remember that moment last year. I shared the first excitement about the naming it, and I still enjoying it. And put that aside, I think I think first time I work with Scott on multiple MA, and we share a lot of similarity. And also she's much younger, but also super talented. I do not want to compare myself to her. So Scott and me, because we are kind of the private employer, we are quite close. And also, I still have fun fact. I still remember I was biking to their office. I lost the bike in downtown of San Francisco. Yeah, and we have a bunch of our similarity. I think back in the day in 2016, I think data scientist is a buzzword. And we are dealing with data, we are dealing with algorithm, we are dealing with building the AI system to deliver business value. Yeah, and I think Scott agree with me a lot of part. I think in the past, most of our job is dealing we call ourselves sometimes the data SQL monkey, or sometimes dealing with data to deliver features and improve the accuracy or click-through rate. Just every time we invent new features, fortunately, we can see 2% CTR. That's what we can get it promoted. Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, I want to share a screen in this case, and then about the data actually we're working on, because the data is actually pretty comparing to most of people, this is actually pretty data, like it's a little bit data far away from most of people's experience. For example, this is actually the data set Codatta uploaded to the Hugging Face, and then this is prostate cancer data with labeling in this case. But we also have some data work with Berkeley. In this case, you can see my screen. This is actually a data we work together with the Berkeley lab, and this is actually blood cancer data. If you notice, each of the data here is pretty huge. It's 2 gigabytes, and the dimension of this data is actually 200K times 200K pixel. And if we show the data a little bit, this is actually the blood cancer related data. We work together, with Codatta. The data come from Codatta and annotated by its network. And then so the idea here, just visualize it, is that so in this case, Kite provide a coordination layer for Codatta, and then so they can seamlessly work with Berkeley and other AI infrastructure layer in this case. So Kite as a hub provide a coordination layer. So Codatta provide this very professional label data, and in this case, cancer detection data. From here we just show 2 types of cancer: blood cancer and prostate cancer. And so this cancer data then can be used by other builder in the ecosystem, so they can seamlessly find the data, and as a coordination layer build this model detection and cancer detection, and then they can serve this cancer detection on the Kite AI platform, and then when they actually deliver this cancer detection result, the revenue will be distributed back to Codatta. So here actually Codatta tracks the attribution for the data for the from the labeling, and then track from the labeling to the physicians and the pathologists who annotated the data. So yeah, that's a whole progress. So just it's actually very special data. So just give people more details about how it works. Yeah.
So I also have a question for you. So you
Okay.
that you started Codatta as an open source project. Why open source in the beginning? So I initially was trying to ask, how you ended up using decentralized way to do, data labeling and all the stuff. But you kind of like answer the question for because of that dual problems that from both business who want the data and also like the providers or labelers who provide knowledge, especially like a domain knowledge when it comes to data creation, curation. So yeah, so I guess I'm more curious, like why in the very beginning, like open source, it's a big business model, choices.
Yeah, I think there. When you're framing this question, I think there is 2 points you are conveying. One point is regarding how we figure out to use blockchain to come up with a solution dealing with data. I think that from day one we do not have the clear pictures. It's more like over the journeys we figure out. Somehow, fortunately, we figure out the way actually use blockchain to somehow to reduce the cost and improve the benefits for the participants of the market. But back in the day, why we decided we should start with the open source project? Actually, it's not my decision. Let's give you a background regarding our origin. Actually, we starting back in the day. We starting on because my personal background. I also dealing with Alipay. I have financial somehow in like technology background, and also while I was finishing my PhD, I was starting my first full-time job for the commercial bank in the Middle West. I was fortunately the first project I was dealing with is tracking the exposure of the commercial bank to a Bitcoin. It's back then the January of 2014. Yeah, that somehow give a set in my brain regarding crypto. And go back, we really mentioned that my use case of my background is more like dealing with anti-money laundering. It's a risk management. So I think why we enter the crypto space we want to utilize this type of experience and knowledge, and one want to deliver the anti-money laundering solution. But when I figure out when I want to doing that solution, back in the day, Chainalysis is becoming kind of represent the significance of anti-money laundering solution. I think we are kind of small, and we find that the dealing with this anti-money laundering solution is not the data infrastructure. It's not about the algorithm, smart algorithm. Actually, the anti-money laundering, they want to have transparency regarding rule. So the rule should be simple. But what is missing is the annotation of account. Who controls the account? Is a Binance, is Coinbase, is a Codatta Cash? This information is quite important. I think it is a small company. We do not have the resource to sourcing the data by ourselves. That's the reason I pick up phone. My friends working at the Coinbase, I told them, okay, I have this idea. How about we working together to sourcing the annotation data together? Hey, the Coinbase guys is actually Leo. He said, hey, it's a good idea. We actually want to start that. How about start an open source project? That's the reason we started. We name ourselves as an open source project. Is more like is based on the microscope, the protocol. Yeah.
That makes sense. Actually, when you say your, like the story from like a Chainalysis, I exactly want to follow up the question about about Leo and Cypher Owl. That's another friend of us who Leo used to be like the head of data platform at Coinbase. They also build a lot of things, like a heavy infrastructure internally, which back in the day, I think that was also in some way one of the competitors to our Zetafy
Yeah.
for blockchain data indexing and all this stuff. But now it's so exciting that you guys are collaborating and building. I know that you guys are powering their money laundering and institutional grade the blockchain data. I mean, it's how do you call it? It's like more like a
intelligence layer.
Fraud,
they are intelligent.
Fraud detection and all the stuff, both use cases. So right now, how is that going? Like, are you guys like tackling some real, like problems, solving some real money, stealing problems, and save people money?
Yeah, I think their business is fantastic. I still remember last December, we discussed the stablecoin will become huge. I think their prediction pan out. Yeah, and I couldn't. I think next time you should invite them, or me or Leo on the episode to talk about their business. Their business, I think, is going so fast. And fortunately, we receive contract from them, and every day, every year, every month they pay us kind of fast check. Yeah, we like that.
Oh, that's awesome! Wow. Okay. Yeah, I mean, not surprising. Again, given like now the whole industry is like marching towards more now institution money is coming, and it's stable coin summer, and we were also chatting with some of our more institution partners about how they are foreseeing the tools that's required for enabling institution working safely and like compliantly in this environment is going to be super important. So glad that you guys are tackling this problem. So actually, that's also makes me wonder. In this case, like you mentioned, you're working with some of the great partners like Sapphire, like Alibaba. You guys are also providing data to their foundation model training. Let's talk a little bit more about our, our just here. What makes what makes you guys? Well, I guess it's a mutual choice, but you guys are the first data module on Kite. I want to hear from your mouth, from your word about what does that mean to be, the data module and first the data module on Kite, and how would that fit into your guys' long-term roadmap in this case? Yeah.
Okay. So actually, you are kind of challenging me regarding a bigger set of questions. I will try to answer it layer by layer, but I think I have very short capacity of memory. Maybe I will lost in the middle, but you can just re-challenge me. Yeah, I think there is definitely a mutual choice. I think like our relationship between Kite is more like a design partner. We are kind of know each other, and also we kind of figure out some of vision together, and also we are grow up together somehow. Even though you are much bigger, you guys, but our scope is much bigger. But somehow I think we are kind of still building something together along the way. The reason I'm speaking that is more like at the beginning of or at the middle of last year when we're talking together regarding why we have the combination of crypto or blockchain with AI. I think some of neutral benefiting to deploy AI on blockchain or have some of the facility of blockchain equipped to AI. I think back days, I think there is a synonymous is more like identity and also the payment. Because AI, they will become somehow more become an agency. They can make a decision. They can behave some of or issue some action by themselves. And most of the time, they are not just dealing with information. They also want to dealing with fiat money, right? And the banking account, we couldn't open banking account for agent, but it's definitely natural for have a wallet for agent. So I think that back in the day, I think payment actually is a very important part of AI on crypto. And also, if each AI, they're supposed to have their own identity. So I think that's when you bring up this type of idea, I think it is so fundamental and so important. That's the reason I think, and also when you guys want to come a solution to deliver that features, I think we should leverage it because you still you can remember we are one trying to use blockchain transform data into asset, and this asset is just a means. We want to reduce the cost. We want the data provider enjoying long-term success for AI and enjoying the revenue sharing model. This actually, if we want to enable this part, we have to track the entire AI life cycle from the data creation to the model training side, still deploy the model and track how much the AI earn. And we want to have this complete transparency. And we couldn't do that. We want to just focus on data side. It's still a very complex problem. And we are so fortunate finding you guys have this ambition to address this entire things. That's the reason we come up to you. And I think, and also that's one of the reason tracking entire life cycle, and also have each agent have an identity, and also we can leverage your payment system to enable this type of royalty-based payment. I think that's very good. And you guys have the resource, you guys have the expertise, and I think we are so fortunate to embrace this ecosystem. And let me see. Other things I want to bring up. Right now labeling and evaluation used to be human intelligence part, but right now the foundation model become very, very powerful. I think for most of not a majority, maybe 60% or 70% of the data labeling or data sourcing, even evaluating part, we can use AI to solve it. And we thinking our clients maybe they should have some of facility to very easily spin up this type of automation and labeling, automation evaluation. We want to offer that service. Each service, they have some encoding some of value. They need a prompting, specialized prompting. They need also wrap around with different models. Some model doing this good, but high cost. Some model doing this mediocrely, but very cheap. We should build this entire spectrum automated solution. And they are each of the solution back end is a model. They are agent. They should have the entity. We hope our protocols, they not just themselves become a provider. They can invest in the agent. So we need this identity and need the reputation system to annotate each agent and put them on shell and upload them on the Kite App Store. That's I think there are multiple layers why we choose embrace Kite. I think in some we are friendship that can build a mutual trust. In particular, at the very beginning of the business, we have to counter each other. And also, you guys have very broad vision, and the vision actually very attractive to us, and we need that. And in terms of agent identity, in terms of SDK, in terms of the payment, in terms of almost all the fundamental features for AI agent. That's a thing. And also right now, I think yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. Hopefully, people can understand. Yeah.
That makes sense. Thank you so much, Eve, for sharing from your angle and your perspective why Codatta could be really a good partner here, leveraging some of the tech and ecosystem resources that Kai is providing. Actually, that's you mentioned a very good point. That I would love to also share a little bit what I thought why this is a great like a collaboration and why this is so important to build an ecosystem like that. So in the future, we envision that the internet again, more like we call it now, agentic internet, will be running and dominated by most agents doing businesses and doing operations rather than human on that internet or on that web. Then in that case, who will be the main consumer of those services, such as like data in the future to then complete workflow, complete a task? It's probably going to be human. It's probably going to be agents rather than human as well. So in this case, Codatta as one of the data providers, especially now you guys are focusing on a lot of those more domain knowledge focused areas like robotics, like healthcare data and all this stuff. That is going to be so crucial to make your services being available to the future mainstream consumers on the internet, which is like agents to be able to access and use them and to pay for that. So that's why being able to leverage some of the fundamental infrastructure that needed for identity, for payments, and all the stuff. The end goal here is actually to empower and to build and unleash a big AI or agentic ecosystem that's across from like an agent to the services, which include again like the data, custom models, or just foundation models, or like other services like API, like MCP, or even we're talking about like merchants if you are thinking about the physical world of like a Janik shop and all this stuff. So it's definitely a very exciting future, and I'm very glad that you guys are also being part of the journey and by and also providing your services right now. Probably right now to human, but in the soon future to agents as well.
Yeah.
And also I want to highlight that data again. So I think Codatta is building one of the most fundamental and hard to scale stuff. Because if you think about GPU, you can produce GPU in box and then the GPU, NVIDIA arguably is just a GPU factory. The product NVIDIA delivery is a GPU factory from certain defined pipeline, and then to produce GPU, and all of that is actually this fungible and then standard GPU in this case. But data is actually very special. For each use case, you need a special label data. Actually, I think last year alone, like Google Pay scaled out AI $2 billion to just labeling data. And then this year, because the takeover from Meta, so I think most of the revenue instead of go to scaled out AI, go to elsewhere. But you can see how fast it grows. It's like you have like a large 2 digits growth year over year just for labeling data. And then, so that's why I think Codatta is actually in a very interesting and one of the fastest growing, track for this. I wonder, if from your perspective, who is considered your, similar, I don't know, I wouldn't call it competitor, but, the similar company in crypto. Yeah.
I think a lot of them. I think there is it's more like a low hanging narrative. For whenever people combine AI with the blockchain, they will come up. Oh, data might be a good thing easy to go topic. But from my, I don't want to name any of the so-called competitor, but I think it's more like a friend, because this market is huge, and just like in US, we see scale AI, we still see search AI, we still know there is a Turing AI. Bunch of people they enjoying very luxury business, enjoying a bunch of the contract from the AI companies. So I think somehow it's more like somehow it might be competing in some space, but most likely can share some deal. Maybe you have footprint in the US, they have footprint in Europe, then other people maybe have footprint in Asia. So we can share deals, and we can collectively build a larger community of knowledge providers. And I think in the political side, because crypto, I think mostly if we define our protocol not just platform, I think is composability is quite important. Reputation system should be flew around. So honestly, maybe sounds like a dodging the question. Do not want to name any competitor, but honestly speaking, the business is huge. And also, when we want to why we choose the crypto, we want to use the blockchain technology to transfer data into assets to deliver different payment solutions or business models. But also, if we consider us as a protocol, we think we should work together, define some of the standard, like how should we propose a ERC somehow 700 whatsoever to encapture our data, because each of the data contributions they have different pieces and they are living in different different hash or blocks on the chain. How we can easily somehow index them and also transfer and retrieve the underlying content of data, and how to encrypt the content data to protect the commercial value. We have a bunch of standards to figure out. Yeah, I think most likely we should work together, but I think maybe there is a wide spectrum of builders in this space. Some of them, they know the idea. They create a token as an asset. They want to go to CX to earn some of liquidation. Maybe some of them, we were hardcore, really believe the vision. They consider the TG as a starting point and like building the consensus and somehow reward the community somehow. Yeah, I think the back in the day, I do not think this space right now we are considering each other as a competitor. We're so early. We do not have very few of them can say we provide a unique solution in comparison to Web2 human intelligence company. I think we are not strong to say that. So we are so early. We should work together, figure out some of the standard.
Hello, E. Sorry, we lost you. Your voice become a little bit fuzzy for maybe 20 seconds. But yeah,
okay.
But yeah, if you can repeat the last probably 15 to 20 seconds, that would be great.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I think Kite is awesome, and the human intelligence business in Web3 is large enough, and there are some competitor. I do not think it's a competitor, more like a collaborator, because we are so earlier. There are a bunch of standards we should figure out together, and we should somehow together to figure out the best practice and deliver different solution in comparison to Web2 human intelligence platform. Yeah.
That actually makes a lot of sense. And honestly speaking, this is the to me probably one of the most interesting areas I want to dig in. Dig more as you guys also know I was a data geek before and still a data geek, but a lot of the biggest data labeling companies in the world, like Scale AI, Labelbox, and were also our customer that using Databricks solutions when I was at Databricks leading some of the engineering tools. First thing first, I'm curious, like, did the Scale AI acquisition and so the kind of like a lot of businesses come out of to the open market, helped your business? I'm very curious about that, because I heard many times that my friends was, honestly speaking, they're like, oh, like Scale AI with a huge, like a humongous deals that now they cannot do because of the acquisition and all the stuff.
Mhm.
There's like once in a lifetime opportunity for data
Mhm.
labeling companies in the market to do. And to be honest, that we were like, oh, probably a lot of like, it's you can see some Web2 data labeling companies are taking advantage of that. But you guys are in this unique intersection of, again, leveraging
Mhm.
blockchain, kind of like a decentralized data labeling solutions. Did you see that
Mhm.
uh, helped your business, or that's makes it, like a lot more deal open for you
Mhm.
guys as well?
Oh yeah, I think it's not an easy answer to address the question you mentioned. I think definitely in some of way, I think Scale AI acquisition of actually Alex Wang, not an acquisition of I don't think it's an acquisition of Scale AI, but only speaking, it kind of we know this thing is what was happening because we back the I think several months ago we heard the rumors regarding of within Meta. Some people complying. They're working with the large language model. They're complying the data quantity offered by Scale AI is kind of questionable. Some of them give a number is astonishing, and even they propose to sourcing multiple vendors, but somehow this kind of proposal has been shut down. They were surprised. I think okay, maybe they are doing something. Scale AI is kind of good boy of Meta. Yeah, so it turned out to be that case, but it's more like just the rumor. I think in general, it's kind of raise up the awareness of the entire industry, particularly in the Asian side. And oh, labeling is so profitable business. I think somehow it can help us to for the market can raise the evaluation of our companies. That's kind of a good impact. And also, back in the day, speaking of business. I think different. There still they have different sizing of the companies, and they have the special need of data. Like Turing AI is very good at the coding and training data, and Search AI is kind of low key, and we do not know what's the specialty they can deliver. So I think about it, they are kind of in par with Scale AI in terms of business income. And yeah, I think, honestly speaking, right now, do not turn out to be instant opportunity for us to receive all there are a bunch of new orders dumped on us. No, it's not the case because we are kind of still to establish our strength and make the industry know, okay, Codatta are very good at these verticals, and they have a strong of this network of data provider specialized in this part. I think different companies, they have their signature. The signature is a particular vertical they are very good at. Yeah, I think right now we're still becoming as figure out some of the vertical we should do. We're good at. I think the good at one it should be fostered by our business partners. I think potentially maybe there are several three of them. One is the anti-money laundering side. Definitely is our strongest vertical. The second one embodied AI, because of our collection in Silicon Valley and in mainland China. There are a bunch of deal is undergoing. We have received some ongoing contract from both sides, and also we are exploring some of partnership with one of the largest developer community. They have some idea. We are exploring, and maybe we can work with them to scale up the data sourcing and the embodiment AI, and also but particular healthcare. That's a super challenging side, but also very profitable, but very challenging. That's the reason we want to work with Kite on the healthcare side. We already have some early small success, and also we have some early talk with foundational model specialized in healthcare in China, because China somehow they have somehow less regulation on some of this area. And that's the reason we have a kind of early commitment or MOU from them, and maybe can accelerate some of this deal. So I can see we are kind of early. That's the reason we do not see there's a cake raining from the sky because of scale AI, they know some of a business opportunity. And I think right now we are still trying to finish some of verticals, making the reputation. No, oh, this Codatta very good at this bunch of data. They will come to us. Yeah.
And I think just follow up on the previous question. I think it's a very interesting angle that we potentially can propose some ERC standard here, because when you talk about this, I did a quick look at the current ERC standard. I don't think there is any ERC standard in terms of the attribution, data lineage, the relationship, for example, track the data here. But also existing data storage is very limited in terms of the functionality, and the in terms of cost performance is very limited to store the data as well. I think there is tons of things potentially we can push for the ERC standard. On a separate note, E and I just visited East Foundation headquarters in San Francisco like last Friday. We chatted with their head of AI. There is some ERC standard. He was thinking about the agentic part as well. For example, agentic passport, agentic card. In this case, I think there is still like this is actually at a very early stage for the AI and data, and then current ERC standard. The only standard I can think of, there is some NFT standard to talk about how to monetize the AI model and then data. And then there is another standard called ERC 7231. It's like link the associate the ID, DID with handles, and then some specialized data. But I don't think there is like ERC standard, broad ERC standard tracks the lineage, ownership, and then and then this particularly with the data attribution. I think that's a great angle there.
Yeah. We do some of quick demo as well. We find that right now we couldn't utilize any single ERC standard to deliver what we want to deliver. So it's more like a multiple one. I think we should start with multiple one, trying to more like build a composite of the kind of object. But over the journey, we're supposed to build a native data standard ERC asset. Yeah. And I think that would be require more iteration of our thoughts and iteration of implementing the so-called data asset. Yeah, and because proposing ERC, I think it's kind of take times. Yeah, take time. Yeah, but we are so excited. Yeah, we can. I think probably we can work on that as well together.
Yeah, so because think about this, like one of the simplest standard, as we talk about, is attribution for the contributors. For example, at the end of the day, you may have 100 image audit by 200 contributor, and then whenever this image is used, like how do I have a standard to attribute the right amount of revenue to each of the systems?
Yeah,
like this is a simplest use case. It should have a standard there, but I don't think there is any standard there as well. So yeah.
Yes, I agree. Yeah. Yes, I can't hear you. So you are on mute, kind of.
Sorry. Yeah, can you hear me right now?
Yes, of course I can.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys touched some very important piece. For your business so far, what is the most technical? What is the biggest technical challenge or challenges that for you guys when building? Again, when you guys are doing the data labeling and also trying to solve this monetization and the compensation problem in the process, we briefly touched about like data attribution and all that stuff. But anything else, especially from like again technical barrier perspective, where you guys are kind of like stuck or kind of like pushing the boundary forward in order to really make this happen?
I think, honestly speaking, there is not a lot because of data dealing side. It's more like operational and the design of dealing with the data, design the schema and find the right people and define the right process to trade off the quantity and the cost. I honestly speaking, I consider data is more like operational stuff and how to scale them up. Definitely, right now the powerful and capable, evolving, the capability, ever growing foundation model help a lot. And honestly, from standard system wise, it's not a fancy technology as what you're working on at Databricks. And so I think technology wise, it's not super challenging. It's more like how we utilize the current best practice, and for each of business demand, how can we define the right taxonomy. I think the unique side for a good enabling or human intelligence company, technology company, is they know AI, they know clients' needs, they can define or design the taxonomy, define the schema. They know which data can be learnable by models, and also they know how to find the right people and can provide the initial training. And also they can define the right workflow to ensure the data quality, and they can embed AI and a human in the loop to improve data quality. And yeah, so I think it's more like operational, and no AI, no people, no data. It's not a super technology challenging. We are not building a fancy system. We are not building recommendation system dealing with small latency. Yeah, it's not that one. So technology-wise, I do not think it's super challenging. It's more like how to scale up business. Vertically, it's more like embedding more people of different background, different specialty, and find out who is reliable, who is more responsible, and horizontally onboarding more verticals. We in accumulation more schema predefined, and also we have the right people, and even have good process to define and design the schema if there's new problems quite effectively. Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, I discussed this in long discussion when we first met, like a year ago, roughly a year ago, because I built Uber internal skill.ai. That's why I
Ticketing.
know. Yeah. So the ticketing. So that's why for audience don't know, for this type of system, first you have a taxonomy to clarify different data points. In this case, the taxonomy part is actually very human intelligence domain domain expertise defined. Once you have taxonomy, you actually have an automated workflow, and the majority of work is actually to make sure this automated workflow just to distribute the right data to the right auditors, or labelers. And then you probably have a different tier of labeler. At Uber, we have a 6-tier labeler, 3-tier labeler. Like most expensive one come from like educated folks from like Arizona, and then Phoenix City. I think we're paying them like $60 per hour. And then we have tons of folks in Manila. I think we're paying like then $12 per day. And then we have some people from Africa. We're paying them $2 a day. So I think it's the most algorithm is just redirect the people to the right workflow. I think it's more like how you actually utilize this and use tons of statistic. Like for example, confidential level for confidence level of the like 95% confidence, and do the sampling, workflow monitoring, that type of stuff. And then yeah, I agree, it's very operational heavy and domain related in this case.
Yeah, so you touched a very interesting point that I would love to learn more here, as you are the expert in the data labeling business. So it has been, I remember like a few years ago that a lot of people are challenging about scale AI is like a very operational heavy, more like just a human intensive business rather than being intelligent. So there's other companies come out in the landscape again, such as like a Snowcall AI or Labelbox, especially Snowcall at the time, because they're funded by professors from Stanford, and one of the unique differentiation and the technical modes they're coming, and also they're trying to deliver is they automate a lot of more workflows and use AI, or like at the time machine learning models to kind of scale up the labeling process that's built on top of the initial set of the labels that's provided by human. So that's why it's become like, or what they're doing, and also I think Scale AI was also then gradually marching towards more like this hybrid approach of having a lot of human in the loop, but also automate or like scale up a lot of the process and intermediate steps by solutions and models. So in this case, I'm wondering, like, are you guys seeing that see as the trend, and how do you think that's potentially would that be part of the future things that you guys will do? I'm just curious, like, would that still like sounds like right now what you guys are doing still very, like mainly like human intensive operation workload, but how would AI play in this process in the future?
Okay. I think that's a very good point. I think if several years ago, I think when we talk about automation labeling, I think that would be challenging. If the model, single model can label that task so good, I think we do not need actually a certain label because the AI already doing that. So I think the back day it might be it's not really makes sense in some way. Yeah, honestly speaking. But right now, I think I think as I say a trend is like I'm mentioning. I think bunch of the tasks can be doing perfectly by AI. Like usually back in the day, we are doing the annotating about a picture was what's the boundary of object, and also we are doing a bunch of text sentiment, emotion sentiment classification. Right now, all the tasks can be conducted perfectly by AI. Even some open source model can doing very good. And so I think most of right now, basic labeling it can be replaced by conducted by AI. And AI right now, I think there are two main components in our human intelligence platform. Right now, we still need a human being to enrich the knowledge, inject the knowledge. They are more like, I think putting this way, the AI right now can do per labeling. Some of the tasks they can do it rudimentary good. Maybe 80% of the problem can be solved by them. But human beings can jump in, improve it, correct it. It's more like information aiding. Collectively, they delivered a label and the samples becoming much better than agent alone, and also more costly effectively by a human alone. Because right now, human you are not just to solve a problem from 0 to 1. It's more like, okay, there are 60% of problem has been solved by AI. You're just doing this 40% of the job, and the 40% of the job actually is value aiding. So AI actually make the business much scalable. And other side in our business, more like now, and like what we are doing with Binance, we are doing some booster campaign. We have a bunch of human beings. We do not have multiple human to one to provide the data, another one review the data. We do not have the luxury because it's a campaign. People want to have instant feedback to figure out if they can claim a token. They are very short temper. So what we are doing, we have AI to check the data quantity, and the AI data quantity doing is quite good. Many people at the beginning, they are questioning, okay, if you use this type of community, they are so commercial driven. They will give you a bunch of garbage data. But it turns out we have AI in the right stop. Right now, we have 90% data meet our quantity standard. And this bunch of data, like I discussed with Scott, we will work together on technical paper, releasing 10% of the data on the Hugging Face. And then we share the data with some of the foundational model business in China. And also we talk with Hugging Face directly. They check the data quantity. They think, okay, that's a fantastic. There are potential lot of use case and a bunch of potential buyers. They're looking at the data. They like it. So actually, have read AI. Right, AI right now is a good boost for our business. Scale our business, reduce the cost of human intelligence, and also reduce the cost of have the third person to review the data. So the business actually can be more scalable because of AI. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much. That's it's always like something I want to know how the latest kind of best practice in the industry. So very good answer here. I know we're much towards time, but because we started 5 minutes late, so maybe
Yeah.
a few minutes there as well will be great. In this case, if you don't mind, I have another follow-up question here. Again, I'm sincerely curious about the data lake and annotation business right now in the industry. So you mentioned a bunch of, again, verticals that you guys are focusing on, and you say that you want to establish your name in those verticals. Why those verticals? Especially recently, again, I know that you guys are working on such as the robotics data. I don't know if and coding data. I don't know if there's any other verticals besides them, and plus the anti-money laundering and healthcare. But particularly, I'm curious why you extended your business very recently to robotics and coding verticals. Yeah.
Okay, I think there are three dimensions when we figure out if the vertical should be picked as a strategic direction. There are three vertical dimensions. One dimension is if it's very suitable for our business model. I think our business model couldn't compete with the more like a sweet labor shop doing some of rudimentary labeling. I think our business model do not very good at it yet. We couldn't compete the cost with them. I think what we should good at is more like we can hire the people, they provide high quality, knowledge rich data, and this type of data business can enjoy to do de-risking and use the future revenue potentially to pay them back. And also some businesses have hard time, even though they do not have considerable budget, they have hard time to find the right experts. I think this type of demands might be good for us. So the business model should be a good fit with this type of vertical, this type of data. The second one, we should have fortunate. We do not have this huge budget to hire someone to do the data just because we think the data is valuable. We need a business support partner, give us a contract. We can commercialize it. We have an initial incentive to do so. And we should, the back of the day, regarding is how reasoning logic sound, the data could be useful for building sort of vertical solution. We need this business, they actually need the data. They will build the vertical, the solution to meet their clients' needs. They can earn the cash and they pay us. I think that's the final testimony of the data is good, is valuable. So we need a business partner to help us to expand this vertical. The third one is more like what's the third one? Yeah, let me say the third one is more like a business fit and a goodness, and also definitely is more like we have this knowledge. We know how to design the schema. We have the easily accessible community. They have this expertise. So it's more like what's easily can be expandable. So there are three dimensions: business model fit, business partner support, and community support, or easily expanding community can find the right person. Or personally, we have this specialty, we have the talents can dealing with this type of demand. Yeah.
That makes sense. Did you find another? Okay, so okay, maybe the question here is like I heard people recently when I chat with them about which industry will give more like the newcomer, the new AI native companies opportunities to build software, to build agentic system on. Could be more from the industry that's either the data doesn't exist before, or it's the vertical that the data like was very small, where it doesn't exist before, or it's the industry that there's a lot of data, but the data doesn't belong to the big tech companies, like the big SaaS companies, because a lot of times when we talk about the moat of a SaaS company, we now is talking about more like the data is their real moat rather than the software, because in the future the software could be for free, especially given that how good AI coding solutions could be. So that's why then if you think back, healthcare industry is a good industry in some way, because the people who own the data anyway it's not the tech company, it's more like the hospital, it's all like those, so like for a newcomer like AI companies, then it's there's no like in some way there's no barriers that they will be pushed out by the big players in the tech industry or like SaaS industry. So in this case, I'm curious if you see that kind of like similar things in your business as well. When, for example, like robotics, everybody know like robotics data is very still like very early stage. There's not that many data yet, so probably means that's very good business for you guys. So like the entry point. I'm curious about that as well. Like, did you see that is also one of the criteria for you to do business? Like, basically, the data is like there's no such data, or the data doesn't belong to like a big tech company, so they will not share because they know it's their assets.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's actually you mentioned the one of reason. I think generative AI is kind of good for our business. And back in the day, if I think it's 5 years or 10 years ago, most of profitable AI system actually recommendation system or other system. This type of data, either the content or either user connects behavior, they are controlled by each of company, Facebook, Google, Pinterest, them. There is no third party can provide much angles of data to them. Maybe we can sourcing some of aspects of human behavior, maybe can supplement to them, but it's more like supplementary thing. So that's back in the day, I think the labeling business is kind of limited. But right now, the data side, because generative AI, not of business solutions, they are kind of count on data. But initially, maybe 60% of the solution can be kind of from the perfect pumping. It's good enough. Or right now we come with context engineer about the server. But if we want to go deeper and provide a more polished solution, we really need the right tailor of the curation of data to improve the foundation model, make them the bunch of knowledge or logic or performance encoded in the model themselves to deliver 90% of the solution. So right now, I think this demand for the high quality data and domain knowledge data is kind of in demand. Yeah. So I totally agree with you. Right now is a good time for this type of business.
Yeah, before that, thank you so much. That's very helpful and great insights from the firsthand experience that you guys are doing the labeling business. Scott, any question from your side? I felt like I took too much space.
No, I think it's all good. And then yeah, so where to find DOE? And this is always the last question. One of the last question we ask, like where to find it.
Before that, then I have two more questions before we wrap up.
Okay.
Two quick ones.
Okay.
One is like, first of all, you guys are the first project on Binance Booster program. Why Binance Booster? Why that is a good synergy to your business, and is that helping you guys already? And how? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think that's the booster actually is I think a good iteration of the Binance listing products. They used to have alpha, more like a help the token generation event, and bottom line now you have booster. Booster actually have a two phase or three. Actually, we have a 3 months or 3 seasons. They have per DG part, post DG part. Per DG part is actually help educating the entire community regarding the project, building the bonding, build the understanding, build the loveliness of the spirit. And also after TG, people still can have some attraction to go with our project to see the growth and building a long-term bonding with the project. So I think that's the philosopher behind the booster design. And also the philosophy is more like my reverse engineer. So I don't know if it's perfect aligned with the Binance design. And from my personal understanding, is kind of very benefiting for us because I think right now you know your token is like the double-edged sword. You attract someone, they have very monetary drive. Maybe they use your product because of the monetary can solve their problem. So I think the traffic we in organic gating is kind of somehow they have a bunch of lawyers, and also you attract a bunch of farming studios. So that's a bunch of traffic actually is fake. It's not backed by real human beings. But the good news for Booster, we couldn't see there's no farmers. They definitely have farming studios in the Booster or in Binance wallet community, but they like the percentage much lower because the cost, because the KYC. The wallet side for the Binance, they are not totally anonymous. They have to do KYC. That's kind of a surprise to someone, but it's good news for us to actually we are dealing like highly likelihood of real human beings. So that's good for us. And definitely Booster put our approach in the global stage and receive a lot of attention. So that's a second layer of benefiting. Yeah.
That makes sense. So I would imagine that type of real people exposure that you guys get from there is directly contributing to the data annotation and collection that you guys can use for your business and all this stuff. And again, yeah, in this industry, no matter in AI, in crypto or AI, honestly speaking, attention is, if not all you need, but a very important thing that you need. So always good to have more attention, especially again that you guys are very really driven, business model in this case. So then my last, I promise the last question here. If we look to one, 2 year, or even like 3 years ahead, what's the success for you guys look like? Like in the Kite AI ecosystem in here. Yeah. Shameless plugging.
Yeah. I think that's not shameless. That's a very smooth plugin. Yeah, let me see. I think that would be the goal is more like we really deliver the vision. It's more like we deliver the so-called royalty-based payment for the generative AI companies. Whenever they're looking for data, whenever they're looking human intelligence for trading, for evaluating, they will come to us. And I think we really deliver the feature we call it train now, pay later with the future revenue. Really unlocks the innovation. Yeah, I think that would be 1, 2, or 3 years, and hopefully the entire thing is not dominated by our small teams. Mind our ideas is more like a fully decentralized. Their community to design the parameters, design the configuration. Yeah.
That's awesome. Really appreciate that, Jim, and the vision. And that's also why we are here all together, build the open, we call it this open AI economy, or open agentic economy of the future, because everybody deserves part of the pie for the growth of AI. Awesome. And then that's probably approaching the end of the episode today. And then that goes to Scott's question. Where can we find you? As the truly last closing question here. Hello? E, can you hear us? I think we probably lost you for a few seconds.
Yeah, I can hear you. I think. Okay, sure.
Yeah, it's just
Scott, I'm ready for your question. Your wrap up question.
Oh, he didn't hear that. So Scott, probably you should say it.
So where do I find you as the last question?
Yeah. What's the last one? Could you mind rephrase it? I think the question quite short, and I'm not sure I understand the term. I don't want to mistaking it.
Oh,
no.
okay.
Yeah, sorry, I think it's the internet trouble. But we're just trying to ask like where we can find you on different platforms. Yeah.
Oh, okay, definitely Pinterest.
Different Pinterest? What? Okay, yeah, I think we have technical challenges. It's okay. It's okay. I think a guy. Yeah, I think your internet is pretty like spotty at the moment. But I think at least, guys, we can find E and Codatta on Twitter and on their website. And E, feel free to comment under the thread about where people can find you in other channels. But yeah, I think to save some time.
Okay, definitely on X and Twitter. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. X,
Awesome.
AKA Twitter.
Okay. Yeah. Makes sense. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. It's a great
Thank you.
conversation, and hope you enjoy the rest of the day. And let's kite the end of the episode. Bye. Thank you, Yi. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Dee. Yeah.
Bye.